All right, Detroit Lions have lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home 29-24 in a very consequential game for both teams. And for the Lions, things are looking pretty grim now. Now that we have lost this game, it is not going to be possible to get to 11 wins. And these are your scenarios. If we're going to make it to the playoffs, this is what has to happen. Pretty much all of these we'd have to win out. Except the last one, we have to go 1-1 with the Packers losing out and us beating the Bears. Pretty crazy how this came down to just one play, which could have potentially been a Jared Goff touchdown, but there was a pass interference on this play, and that was St. Brown here with the push-up on Jalen Ramsey. Pretty obvious push-up. I do think Ramsey sold it a little bit, but I also think St. Brown obviously extended the arms here and pushed him as the ball was about to arrive. Obviously, pass interference. And this is one of those games that had a lot of interesting things I wanted to go through. Kind of the most of the game, drive for drive, and what was interesting. So on the first drive of the game, the Lions take the ball. Jared Goff gets sacked on a terrible rep by Christian Mahogany. Basically, he loses about as quickly as you can from the left guard position, and Jared Goff gets sacked, setting up a 3rd and 11 screen that did not go anywhere. And this is one of a few screens where they had Jahmyr Gibbs lined up at wide receiver and threw it to him on 3rd and long, just like a quick flanker screen. And this is one where I feel like the Lions have ran this a few too many times. When he's out there lined up at receiver, it's almost an obvious screen. I don't think you can just run a screen every time he's lined up there at wide receiver. You have to mix it up and actually have him run downfield a little more, I think. Now, they do some things with him running out of the backfield, like angle routes and stuff, but they need to do more. When he's lined up at receiver, it can't always be a screen. Then the Steelers' first drive after that, it is Darnell Washington and Jaylen Warren working down the field, and Hutchinson is able to get a sack, setting up 3rd and 14. Quick pass gets tipped by Alex Anzalone, and the Steelers make a 59-yard field goal, going out 3-0. And on the Lions' second drive, they work their way all the way down the field. This was an interesting one of the first plays of the drive. It is a fumble by Jahmyr Gibbs. He's just like running, breaks off a tackle, and the ball kind of slips off. He's able to pick it up, setting up a 3rd and long. Khalif Raymond catches a pass and breaks a tackle, pushing forward for the first down, fights for some yards. They get Anthony Ferkser involved on this drive. He has a few catches today. And then the Lions on 4th and goal go for a play-action pass. Just nothing open on this one. Jared Goff tries to extend and get it to St. Brown at the last second, but it just was not there. And this is one where you could say maybe they should kick the field goal there. And for me, I really think if it's like 4th and 3 or shorter and you have good play calling as a team, it's probably a good idea to go for it. And for the Lions, I really don't know how good the play calling is going to be next year. We'll have to see who they bring in as an offensive coordinator. I don't expect Dan Campbell to keep calling plays next year, but I do think he has shown the ability to adjust a little bit and be a little more conservative when the play calling hasn't been as good, and he started to realize that after we had a streak of not getting 4th downs. He did make a few of those kick decisions. And after getting that stop, the Steelers take over from their own 3-yard line, able to get a 1st down before having to punt. The Lions' 3rd drive of the game starts from their own 37 after a Steelers punting penalty. Jared Goff hits Jameson Williams on a really nice out route while just about to get hit. Taylor Decker lost really quickly versus Highsmith on this one, and Jared Goff definitely took quite a few hits today, and it was a little rattled up, I think, in the second half. There were definitely some throws where he threw it right to a defender under pressure. Shortly after that, you have Highsmith in the backfield, beating the pulling guard to get the running back in the backfield. And there were a few plays this game as well where Highsmith was not blocked on running plays, like on the backside. And on this one, he was kind of on the play side, but just beat the pulling guard pretty much to get a tackle for loss. Lions cannot convert, have to kick a field goal, tying at 3. Steelers' 3rd drive of the game goes 3 and out. Pat Freiermuth on the screen is unable to really get anything. Lions' 4th drive of the game, Highsmith beats Taylor Decker again, making Jared Goff step up into a sack. And then on 3rd and long, you have another one of these telegraphed screens where Jahmyr Gibbs is lined up at wide receiver on the trip side, and it's just an obvious screen. And the defense knows this. This is one where Highsmith was kind of getting in the passing window, definitely knew it was probably a screen. And yeah, these flanker screens can be pretty good, but not if the defense is expecting it, because pass rushers can basically just run straight up the field. They don't have to go towards the quarterback. Just run straight up the field and put your hands up. Then on the Steelers' 4th drive of the game, it is Aiden Hutchinson beating the tackle and guard on this play. Really impressive one. This is one where you really see the potential and the upside And a lot of people will say that, like, Hutchinson doesn't make plays like Myles Garrett and, Micah Parsons and stuff like that. And it is, not as consistent, but this is one of those plays that shows you it's in there. And I do think Hutchinson is still kind of developing on some of these inside moves and stuff. And I think eventually he could potentially get there to one of the top few edge rushers in the game. And this is definitely one of those plays where he was completely unblockable. Now, Myles Garrett does stuff like this every game. He'll have like 4 plays like this, and they're not all sacks, obviously, but if you can get to this level where you're getting plays like this, a few times a game, you're going to be definitely in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation every season and going to be getting a lot of sacks. And yeah, we just have to hope that the Lions bring in some more edge talent next season. And we definitely just need a little more juice. And yeah, it'll help a lot overall because Hutchinson will be pushing quarterbacks right into the other edge rusher pretty much. Khalif Raymond gets a nice return to help the Lions get to their own 38 for their 5th drive of the game. Isaac Tesla and Gibbs get back-to-back first downs. Then Jamison on another passing play, and Gibbs on a run gets it to the 20. And then we have this play by Isaac Tesla working from the slot. He's kind of working up the seam versus a cover 3. Definitely knows he's going to take a hit on this one. And this was an insane catch going up and hanging on. Really nice play there. This is what we drafted him for. So, yeah, I definitely want to see more involvement from him in the red zone next year, but I'm not sure if he's going to be an overall, like a wide receiver 1 or even a wide receiver 2 type. I just think, contested catches in the red zone and that kind of stuff is probably going to be his game, but we'll just have to see. Obviously, maybe he'll develop a little more of his route running and stuff. Right now, he's more like a straight line athlete who can really excel at contested catches. That's what it looks like to me. The Steelers' 5th drive of the game, they are able to overcome a terrible pass interference call on DK Metcalf. Could not find a clip of this one, but it was just a simple jam and the cornerback missed, but they're able to overcome it working down the field. And just as the time is about to expire in the half, we had this insane play by Kenneth Gainwell. This has to be maybe the play of the game. This catch bounces off his left hand there, or his right hand, and he's somehow able to corral it and get up. Anzalone thinks he's down or thinks he maybe dropped it, and he goes in untouched. This was an insane one, and this is one where I just kind of watched it, and I was like, there's no way he caught that, and that would tie up the game at 10. The Steelers, receiving in the second half on their first drive, are able to get down the field with Jaylen Warren, DK Metcalf, and Adam Thielen working the middle versus some zones. And then on the goal line, it is Thomas Harper and Jack Campbell working together here to jar the ball free from Darnell Washington on this one. Darnell Washington was just kind of like trucking through guys on this one and just lost handle on the ball. And Aaron Rodgers was really trying to hurry up here because he wanted to snap the ball and not allow the Lions to challenge it, but it looked like the Steelers were not really ready to snap the ball, and they almost got it off, I think. We thought that was going to be a big turn in momentum, but then on the next drive for the Lions, starting at their own 3, you had this 3rd and 8, where it is Kyle Duggar coming through unblocked here, and he kind of takes more of an inside route, as you can see there. Jahmyr Gibbs kind of goes more to the outside, expecting him to probably go out when he's blitzing, but he decides to go inside here. It is on the quarterback to know if there's somebody blitzing, but when the snap's this low, you can't really watch the rotation of defensive backs and stuff like that, and that's just really tough. There's not a lot Jared Goff could have probably done on this one. I think he just saw him right about now. Like that very last second, he saw him just try to maybe get out of the end zone, Unfortunately, not able to get it. But yeah, pretty tough there. Huge turn of momentum in the Lions' favor, and then on a few plays later, the safety turning momentum back towards the Steelers. Following that safety, the Steelers find Kenneth Gainwell wide open in the flat off of a pass, and this is one where it looked like Alex Anzalone was supposed to go out into the flat and just didn't see Kenneth Gainwell motioning across the formation into the flat pretty much. Just an uncovered mental error there. Pretty tough. And then a few plays later, you had this 4th and 2 where the Lions had to call a timeout. And this is one where they had 10 guys on the field. I'm going to play it here. As you can see. Yeah. And as you can see here, the broadcast actually missed this, but as you can see here, I counted them out for you there. That is 10 guys on the field. And it's just one where you cannot have this. You cannot waste timeouts on things like this. And this is one where Aaron Rodgers probably knew and was probably trying to take advantage of it. From what I can tell here, it looks like we don't have a slot corner out there, because I see Maddox, I see Thomas Harper. I do not see a fifth defensive back or a fourth linebacker or a fourth defensive lineman. So they have like a 3-3-4 out there. And it is a little harsh, but like, honestly, this kind of stuff is mostly inexcusable. You cannot have this in the NFL. You have guys on the sideline who their job is to make sure this doesn't happen. To tell the coach, we need another guy in defense. Send someone out there. And yeah, the Lions' last drive of the game, maybe it helps having another timeout there. It's something I've been a little critical of on this channel, wasting timeouts, especially in the second half. Usually it's on offense because they don't like to play and want to avoid a delay game, but this one, just on defense, not enough players out there. After the timeout, Steelers are able to convert and kind of a back shoulder slant to Scotty Miller. Not a player I knew was even on the Steelers, but this was kind of cool to see a Scotty Miller appearance. So that was kind of cool. Then on 4th and 1 later on in the drive, the Steelers run a fake tush push, and this was kind of interesting. So they handed off to Gainwell, one of the upbacks on this, and he just slips around the end there. This was just kind of a cool play design. You've seen a lot of teams kind of try something like this, but it doesn't work. And even on this play, it's not even really that insanely good blocking. It is a pretty good block there by Freiermuth on the edge, but it's more just like everyone on the Lions is inside except for one guy there, Maddox, I think it is. The Lions are able to hold the Steelers to a field goal there after a huge collision between Darnell Washington and DJ Reed. This one was scary, but DJ Reed did wind up coming back in the game. And then the Lions go 3 and out on offense. Jared Goff misses a pass on 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, he misses another throw. This one missed by quite a bit and throws it right to a defender. Could have definitely been an interception. Really just Jared Goff after that safety was feeling the pressure a little bit this drive and not looking comfortable at all. Steelers' 3rd drive of the half. It is Jaylen Warren on this toss play. And you have Thomas Harper there, the safety, just a really bad angle on this one, getting washed out. He comes kind of from the inside here, number 12, you can see there. He just took a really bad angle and is the main reason this is a touchdown. But DJ Reed had a chance at this one too, really. And Jaylen Warren is a pretty good running back, but you would hope to at least put a hand on him. He goes untouched on this one for a touchdown, putting them up 22-10. The Lions' 3rd drive of the second half, they're working down the field with Khalif Raymond, Isaac Tesla, and Jahmyr Gibbs helping get the ball to the 27. And then it's Khalif Raymond on 4th and 2 running across the field, running away from number 22. Not going to get close. It's another touchdown, putting them within scoring distance now, 17-22. The Steelers are then able to overcome a block in the back with a back shoulder pass to DK Metcalf for about 20 yards on an insane throw from Aaron Rodgers. And then the very next play, it is Jaylen Warren again, cutting right up the left side, and another bad run fit from Thomas Harper. Yeah, definitely on this one, Harper just kind of got caught inside of this block. As you can see there, he's on like the top right of your screen. He tries to cut inside where he actually has more help inside instead of going outside. And yeah, that's just an easy touchdown again for Jaylen Warren, untouched. Jaylen Warren had an insane game today. And luckily I had him in fantasy, but I definitely could have done without that second touchdown. Lions' next drive, Jameson Williams gets 2 nice plays, and then it is Anthony Firkser getting it to about the 20-yard line. Then Jahmyr Gibbs on a swing pass gets it all the way down to the 4. And then a couple plays later, it is another swing pass to Jahmyr Gibbs, scoring. Basically, nobody runs out to the flat and cover him. Easy touchdown there, putting the Lions again within scoring distance, 29-24. Next drive by the Steelers, it is Jonnu Smith in the backfield actually getting a couple of handoffs for about 30 yards. And then the Lions defense is able to hold on 3rd and 8. Good coverage, causing the Steelers to go for a field goal. And this one bounces off the upright, giving the Lions a chance to go take the lead with a touchdown. Following drive, the Lions are able to find Shane Zielstra on 3rd and 13, catches under review. And this one was kind of inconclusive. Felt like they couldn't overturn it with The videos that they had to stand as a catch. Then the Lions on 4th and 2 go to Jameson Williams over the middle here, covered by Kyle Duggar, who gets a little early on this one. Going to be pass interference on that one. Definitely giving the Lions a first down and also stopping the clock, which is critical. Then the very next play, it is Jared Goff taking a sack, but this one is a tripping sack by Highsmith. Another defensive penalty, and this one will stop the clock again, and an obvious one there with the leg extension, tripping Jared Goff there for the sack. Then a couple plays later, before that insane play, we had this pick play on the goal line, which the Lions got called for pass interference. And this is one where I actually think this was a legal pick play. You are allowed to run a pick play within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. The ball is on the 1 yard line, and the pick here occurs right on the goal line. So that is within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. So this should have been a legal play. And yeah, a lot of Lions fans are focused on this play at the end of the game. Was definitely pretty crazy, but honestly, I don't think St. Brown should have been able to pitch it there after being pushed back about 5 yards. Should have been a loss of momentum, obviously, down. And that should have been the end of the game before the pitch. But obviously, he did push off and get the pass interference on this play. But on the pick play, a few plays later, it was definitely within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage and was absolutely a legal pick and should not have been a penalty. That should have been a touchdown. Should have been the Lions' lead there with about 20 seconds left to go in the game, and that is really tough. And yeah, that's tough on a Lions fan. You can never really trust the officials. You just cannot allow yourself to put the game in the hands of the officials too often. Otherwise, you're going to get hosed like that, and that just sucks. Season's practically over at this point. We could win out and maybe potentially get it with some help, but it's not super likely, as the Lions have not even won back-to-back games since September. Anyways, that's all we have for you today. Maybe we'll have some off-season stuff coming soon where we'll have to see. Only 2 more games left on the current schedule and not looking like we're going to make the playoffs.